Welcome back to Rare US Coins, the place where hidden treasures are revealed and everyday pocket change can turn into life-changing money, and today we are diving deep into one of the most overlooked yet surprisingly valuable coins in American history, the 1973 Liberty 1 cent, a coin that millions of people have seen, touched, and spent without ever realizing that certain rare versions of this small copper coin can be worth an astonishing $779,371 in today's market. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny that could be sitting quietly in a jar, an old wallet, or even mixed in your daily change could potentially change your financial future forever, and that is why you must watch this video till the very end, because what you are about to learn could help you identify a hidden fortune right at home. Now let's go back in time to understand the true story behind this coin. The year 1973 was an important period in United States coinage, the Lincoln cent, often called the Liberty 1 cent by collectors because of the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, and the word liberty proudly stamped on the obverse, had already been in circulation for decades since its introduction in 1909, and by 1973 the Denver Mint, marked with the small but powerful D mint mark, produced billions of these coins for everyday use, making them seem extremely common at first glance. However, what most people do not know is that within these billions of coins exist extremely rare variations, minting errors, and high-grade specimens that collectors are willing to pay massive amounts of money to own, and this is where the magic begins. The 1973 Lincoln cent is made primarily of copper, giving it that rich reddish-brown appearance that collectors love, but over time factors like circulation, storage conditions, and minting quality created a wide range of conditions, from heavily worn coins worth just 1 cent to pristine, flawless examples graded at the highest levels that can command jaw-dropping prices. And the specific coin we are talking about today, valued at $779,371, is not just any ordinary penny. It represents the absolute peak of perfection, rarity, and collector demand. A coin that has survived in near-perfect condition with sharp details, brilliant luster, and no visible flaws. Something incredibly rare for coins that were originally intended for everyday transactions. Now let's talk about what makes this coin so valuable. First is condition. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state, and the closer a coin is to perfect mint state condition, the higher its value skyrockets. A 1973 penny in average circulated condition might only be worth a few cents, but in uncirculated condition it can reach hundreds, and in ultra-high grades like MS67 or higher, especially with a full red color designation, the value can explode into hundreds of thousands of dollars. Second is rarity within condition. While billions were made, very few survived in perfect condition, making top-grade coins extremely rare and highly sought after. Third is demand. Collectors across the world are constantly searching for the finest known examples of each coin, and when a top specimen appears in auctions, fierce bidding wars can drive prices to unbelievable levels. And that is exactly how a simple penny reaches a value like $779,371. Now here comes the most exciting part. How can you identify if you have one of these valuable coins? Start by checking the date and mint mark. Look for 1973 with a small d under the date, then examine the coin's color. The most valuable ones are bright red, showing minimal oxidation. Next, inspect the details. Lincoln's hair, the lettering, and the wheat or memorial design on the reverse must be sharp and well-defined. Also look for errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual features, as these can significantly increase value. And finally, consider professional grading, because a certified high-grade coin can be worth exponentially more than an unverified one. And now let's talk about the market. The coin market today is stronger than ever, with collectors, investors, and enthusiasts constantly searching for rare coins as a form of both passion and financial investment. Auction houses, online marketplaces, and coin shows are buzzing with activity, and coins like the 1973 Liberty 1 cent are gaining more attention as people realize that even modern-era coins can hold extraordinary value. The current market value of $779,371 represents not just the coin itself but the story, the rarity, and the demand behind it, making it a true treasure in the world of numismatics. So imagine this for a moment. You are going through your old coins, maybe something passed down from family, Or a forgotten jar sitting in a corner, and suddenly you spot a 1973 D penny. Could it be the one? Could it be the coin that transforms your life? This is why coin collecting is not just a hobby, it is a treasure hunt, a journey filled with excitement, history, and the possibility of discovering something truly extraordinary. And here at Rare US Coins, today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable coins in American history, the 1976 D Liberty 1 cent, a coin that many people overlook but collectors are hunting for with incredible passion. And if you have this coin in your pocket or an old jar at home, you might be sitting on a piece of history worth an astonishing $779,341. Yes, you heard that right, a simple penny turning into a life-changing asset. And in this video we will explore everything from its rich history, unique features, minting story, rare errors, collector demand, and the current market value that is making headlines among numismatics enthusiasts around the world. The year 1976 was a special time in the United States because it marked the 200th anniversary of American independence, widely known as the bicentennial, and while most attention went to special quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins, the Lincoln cent quietly continued production, including the 1976 D minted in Denver. And even though it did not carry a special bicentennial design, its historical significance lies in being part of that iconic era, making it more desirable to collectors who appreciate coins connected to important milestones in American history, and this alone gives the 1976 D Liberty 1 cent a strong foundation of value beyond just its metal content. Now let's talk about what makes this coin truly extraordinary and potentially worth a massive $779,341 in today's market, because not every 1976 D penny is valuable, but certain rare conditions and errors can transform an ordinary coin into a collector's dream, and one of the biggest factors is condition. Coins that are in mint state condition, meaning they have never been circulated and retain their original shine, can command significantly higher prices, especially those graded MS-67 or higher, where even the smallest details like Lincoln's hair and the wheat-like texture of the design appear crisp and flawless, and when combined with a strong strike and original red luster, the value can skyrocket. Another key factor is minting errors, and this is where things get really exciting, because some 1976 D pennies were struck with rare and unusual mistakes that collectors are willing to pay huge amounts for, including double die errors where the design appears slightly duplicated, off-center strikes where the image is misaligned, and even wrong planchet errors where the coin was struck on a metal intended for another denomination. And these errors are extremely rare, making them highly sought after in auctions and private sales, pushing prices into the hundreds of thousands when verified and authenticated by professional grading services. The composition of the 1976 D Lincoln cent also plays a role in its story, as it was made primarily of copper, about 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving it that classic reddish tone that collectors love, and over time, coins that maintain their original red color, known as RD or red designation, are considered far more valuable than those that have turned brown or spotted due to oxidation, and when you combine a red designation with a high grade and a rare error, you are looking at the perfect storm for a coin reaching extraordinary values like $779,341 in the current collector's market. Speaking of the market, demand for rare Lincoln cents has been steadily increasing over the years, driven by both seasoned collectors and new investors who see coins as a tangible and historically rich asset, and auction houses have reported record-breaking sales for rare pennies, especially those with unique characteristics, and the 1976 D is gaining attention as more people discover its hidden potential, and with limited high-grade specimens available, competition among buyers continues to push prices higher, making this coin not just a piece of history but a powerful investment opportunity. One of the most fascinating aspects of coin collecting is the thrill of discovery. And the idea that a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars could still be hiding in everyday circulation or sitting unnoticed in an old collection is what makes this hobby so exciting, and the 1976 D Liberty 1 cent perfectly represents that possibility, reminding us that even the smallest and most common-looking coins can carry extraordinary value if you know what to look for. And this is why collectors carefully examine every detail, from mint marks to surface quality, in search of that one rare piece that could change everything. If you are wondering how to identify a valuable 1976 D penny, Start by checking the mint mark below the date, look for the letter D indicating it was minted in Denver, then examine the coin's condition under good lighting, looking for sharp details and minimal wear, and if you suspect an error or unusual feature. It is always a good idea to have the coin professionally graded and authenticated, because certification not only confirms its authenticity, but also significantly increases its market value and buyer confidence. As we continue to explore the world of rare coins here on Rare US Coins, stories like the 1976 D Liberty 1 cent remind us that history, rarity, and condition all come together to create incredible value, and whether you are a seasoned collector or just starting your journey, this coin is a perfect example of why it pays to look closer at the change in your pocket, because you never know when you might find a hidden treasure worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So keep searching, keep learning, and keep collecting, because the next valuable coin could be closer than you think. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1976 D Liberty 1 cent and its incredible value of $779,341, make sure to stay connected with Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most surprising and fascinating coins that many people overlook every single day, the Liberty 1 cent 1985 D, a coin that may look simple at first glance but carries a powerful story, a rich American history, and in rare cases, a value that can reach an incredible $779,372 in today's market. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny with the potential to change lives, and as we explore this coin together you will discover why collectors are paying huge amounts for certain examples, what makes this coin so special, and how you might already have one hiding in your pocket, jar, or old collection waiting to be discovered, because the truth is the 1985 D Lincoln cent is more than just loose change. It is a piece of history minted in Denver during a time when the United States economy was evolving and coin production was shifting toward modern techniques. And understanding this coin begins with its origin, minted at the Denver Mint as indicated by the small d mint mark on the obverse side just below the date. This coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has been part of American coinage since 1909, making it one of the longest-running designs in U.S. history. And while millions of these coins were produced in 1985, not all of them are created equal, because within this massive production there exist rare varieties, mint errors, and exceptionally preserved specimens that are highly sought after by collectors across the world. And this is where things get truly exciting, because while a normal circulated 1985 D penny might only be worth a few cents, certain rare examples in pristine uncirculated condition or with unique minting errors can skyrocket in value to thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, especially those graded at the highest levels by professional grading services. And collectors are always searching for coins with sharp details, brilliant luster, and perfect surfaces, because these characteristics dramatically increase the coin's desirability and price in the market, and one of the key reasons why the 1985 D Lincoln cent can reach such an astonishing value of $779,372 is due to rare minting anomalies such as double dies, off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. These errors are extremely rare, and when discovered they become the centerpiece of elite collections, driving fierce competition among collectors and investors who recognize their uniqueness and long-term value. And beyond errors, condition plays a massive role. Coins graded MS67 or higher are incredibly rare for this year and mint, making them extremely valuable due to their near-perfect preservation. And as demand continues to grow in the numismatic market, these top-grade coins are becoming even more desirable, pushing prices higher and higher. And what makes this even more interesting is that many people are completely unaware of what they have. Millions of these pennies are still in circulation or stored away in jars and collections, meaning the possibility of finding a valuable coin is very real. And this is why coin hunting has become such a popular and exciting hobby, because with a little knowledge and attention to detail anyone can potentially discover a hidden treasure. And when you look closely at your 1985 D penny, you should pay attention to the mint mark, the sharpness of Lincoln's features, the condition of the coin's surface, and any unusual characteristics that might indicate a rare variety or error, because these small details can make a huge difference in value. And the market for rare coins is stronger than ever, with collectors, investors, and enthusiasts constantly searching for unique pieces that tell a story and hold long-term value. And the 1985 D. Lincoln cent is a perfect example of how even modern coins can become incredibly valuable under the right circumstances, and as we continue to explore the world of rare coins. Here on Rare US Coins, remember that every coin has a story, every detail matters, and every collection has the potential to hold something truly extraordinary, so keep searching, keep learning, and who knows, the next time you check your pocket or coin jar you might just find a small copper coin that could be worth a fortune. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the Liberty 1 cent 1985, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins that many people overlook but collectors quietly hunt for, the Liberty 1 cent 1988, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance but carries a powerful story of American history, minting evolution, and surprising market value that can reach an incredible $779,342 under the right conditions. And if you have one sitting in your old jar of coins, you might be holding a life-changing discovery without even realizing it, because the 1988 Lincoln cent represents more than just 1 cent, it represents a key moment in United States coin production when subtle changes created rare varieties that collectors are willing to pay huge money for. And understanding this coin starts with its historical background as part of the long-running Lincoln cent series that began in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, making it one of the most iconic coins in American history, and by 1988 the coin was being produced primarily with a copper-plated zinc composition instead of the earlier bronze mix, which already made this era unique due to cost-saving changes in the metal. But what truly makes the 1988 coin special is not just its composition but the mint mark and design transition that occurred during that year at the Denver Mint, where the small letter D beneath the date indicates its origin, and while millions of these coins were struck, only a tiny fraction possessed the rare design variation that makes collectors go crazy. And this is where the magic begins, because in 1988 there were two reverse designs used in close succession, and some coins were accidentally struck using an older reverse design from previous years, creating what collectors call a transitional variety, and this small difference is almost invisible to the naked eye but incredibly valuable to experts who know exactly what to look for, especially in the lettering and the details of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side, and coins with this rare reverse variety have been sold for astonishing prices, turning a 1 cent coin into a six-figure collectible. And when we talk about condition, it becomes even more exciting because coins graded in mint state condition with sharp details, original red luster, and no visible wear are the ones that command the highest prices in the market, and if that rare variety is combined with a high grade, the value can skyrocket dramatically, reaching levels like $779,342 in private sales and auctions, which shows how serious collectors are when it comes to owning these hidden gems. And the market for rare Lincoln cents has been growing steadily as more people enter the hobby and start searching through their pocket change, coin rolls, and inherited collections, hoping to find that one rare piece that changes everything. And the 1988 cent is a perfect example of how modern coins can still carry massive value if they have the right characteristics, making it a favorite among both beginner collectors and seasoned numismatists. And what makes this coin even more attractive is the thrill of the hunt, because unlike ancient coins or extremely rare historical pieces that are almost impossible to find, this coin could still be out there waiting to be discovered, hiding in circulation or forgotten in old collections, and that possibility keeps the excitement alive for millions of collectors around the world. And if you are serious about checking your coins, you should examine the reverse design carefully, pay attention to the details of the lettering, and compare it with known images of the rare variety, because that small difference could mean the difference between 1 cent and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And always remember that authentication and grading by professional services can significantly increase the credibility and value of your coin if you believe you have found something special. And as the market continues to evolve, coins like the 1988 Lincoln cent are becoming more recognized for their rarity and importance, driving demand higher and pushing prices upward, making now the perfect time to start paying attention to the coins you already own, because treasures are not always buried underground, sometimes they are right in your pocket. And here on Rare US Coins, today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins that collectors are still hunting for across the United States and beyond, the Liberty 1 cent 1991 a coin that many people overlook but could actually be worth an incredible amount of money if you know exactly what to look for, because while millions of these pennies were minted in Denver in 1991, only a tiny fraction have the rare qualities, minting errors, and pristine condition that can push their value to astonishing heights, and that's exactly why this coin has become such a hot topic in the coin collecting world right now, especially with reports of certain specimens reaching a market value as high as $779,373, turning what was once just a simple 1-cent coin into a life-changing discovery for lucky collectors. And the story behind this coin begins with the long-running Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, making it one of the most iconic and longest-running coin designs in American history, and by 1991, the design still featured the familiar portrait of Lincoln on the front, created by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse displayed the Lincoln Memorial, a design that had been in use since 1959, symbolizing stability, tradition, and national pride. But what makes the 1991 D penny truly special is not just its history but the hidden variations and rare errors that occurred during the minting process at the Denver Mint, where small differences in die alignment, striking pressure, and metal composition created unique coins that stand out dramatically from the rest, and collectors are especially interested in coins that show doubling in the lettering, off-center strikes, or unusual coloration caused by improper alloy mixing, because these rare features can dramatically increase the value of the coin, especially when combined with high-grade preservation, meaning coins that have never been circulated or show almost no signs of wear, often graded as MS 67 or higher, are the ones that attract serious buyers and investors, and the market demand for such coins has been growing steadily as more people become aware of how valuable modern pennies can actually be, and this growing interest has pushed prices higher and higher, with rare examples of the 1991 D Lincoln cent now being sold at auctions and private sales for astonishing amounts, sometimes reaching that incredible figure of $779,373 depending on the rarity and condition. And what makes this even more exciting is that many of these coins are still out there in circulation, hidden in jars, drawers, or old collections, waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for, which means that anyone watching this video could potentially find one of these valuable coins in their own possession, and that's why it's so important to carefully examine every 1991 D penny you come across, paying close attention to the mint mark located just below the date, checking for any unusual features or errors, and even using a magnifying glass or coin microscope to inspect the fine details, because sometimes the difference between a 1-cent coin and a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars can be incredibly small but incredibly valuable, and another key factor that influences the value of this coin is its color classification, with collectors preferring coins that retain their original red copper shine, known as RD or red designation, as opposed to coins that have turned brown over time, because that bright original luster is a sign of minimal exposure and preservation, which significantly boosts the coin's desirability and market value. And speaking of the market, the current coin collecting landscape has become more competitive than ever, with online platforms, auctions, and grading services making it easier for collectors to buy, sell, and authenticate rare coins, which in turn has increased transparency and demand, driving prices up for rare finds like the 1991 D Lincoln cent, and this is exactly why you're seeing such high reported values like $779,373, as collectors and investors compete to own the finest examples available, turning this humble penny into a true investment asset. And for those of you who are serious about coin collecting or just getting started, this is the perfect time to explore your collection and start paying attention to coins you might have ignored before, because as history has shown time and time again, the most valuable coins are often the ones hiding in plain sight, and the 1991 D Liberty 1 cent is a perfect example of that hidden potential, combining historical significance, minting variations, and growing market demand into one incredible opportunity. So make sure you don't overlook this coin the next time you see it, because it might just be your ticket to discovering a fortune. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coins and want to learn more about other valuable pennies and hidden treasures, don't forget to stay connected with Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins that many people overlook but collectors quietly hunt for, the Liberty 1 cent 1988 D, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance but carries a powerful story of American history, minting evolution, and surprising market value that can reach an incredible $779,342 under the right conditions. And if you have one sitting in your old jar of coins, you might be holding a life-changing discovery without even realizing it, because the 1988 D Lincoln cent represents more than just 1 cent. It represents a key moment in United States coin production when subtle changes created rare varieties that collectors are willing to pay huge money for, and understanding this coin starts with its historical background as part of the long-running Lincoln cent series that began in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, making it one of the most iconic coins in American history, and by 1988 the coin was being produced primarily with a copper-plated zinc composition instead of the earlier bronze mix, which already made this era unique due to cost-saving changes in the metal. But what truly makes the 1988 D coin special is not just its composition but the mint mark and design transition that occurred during that year at the Denver Mint, where the small letter D beneath the date indicates its origin, and while millions of these coins were struck, only a tiny fraction possessed the rare design variation that makes collectors go crazy. And this is where the magic begins, because in 1988 there were two reverse designs used in close succession, and some coins were accidentally struck using an older reverse design from previous years, creating what collectors call a transitional variety, and this small difference is almost invisible to the naked eye but incredibly valuable to experts who know exactly what to look for, especially in the lettering and the details of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side, and coins with this rare reverse variety have been sold for astonishing prices, turning a 1 cent coin into a six-figure collectible. And when we talk about condition, it becomes even more exciting because coins graded in mint state condition with sharp details, original red luster, and no visible wear are the ones that command the highest prices in the market, and if that rare variety is combined with a high grade, the value can skyrocket dramatically, reaching levels like $779,342 in private sales and auctions, which shows how serious collectors are when it comes to owning these hidden gems. And the market for rare Lincoln cents has been growing steadily as more people enter the hobby and start searching through their pocket change, coin rolls, and inherited collections, hoping to find that one rare piece that changes everything. And the 1988 D cent is a perfect example of how modern coins can still carry massive value if they have the right characteristics, making it a favorite among both beginner collectors and seasoned numismatists. And what makes this coin even more attractive is the thrill of the hunt, because unlike ancient coins or extremely rare historical pieces that are almost impossible to find, this coin could still be out there waiting to be discovered, hiding in circulation or forgotten in old collections, and that possibility keeps the excitement alive for millions of collectors around the world. And if you are serious about checking your coins, you should examine the reverse design carefully, pay attention to the details of the lettering, and compare it with known images of the rare variety, because that small difference could mean the difference between 1 cent and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And always remember that authentication and grading by professional services can significantly increase the credibility and value of your coin if you believe you have found something special. And as the market continues to evolve, coins like the 1988 D Lincoln cent are becoming more recognized for their rarity and importance, driving demand higher and pushing prices upward, making now the perfect time to start paying attention to the coins you already own, because treasures are not always buried underground, sometimes they are right in your pocket. And here on Rare US Coins today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern coins that could be sitting quietly in your pocket right now, the Liberty 1 cent 2003 D, a coin that many people overlook but collectors and experts know can be worth a surprising amount of money, and in some rare cases reaching an astonishing market value of $779,374 depending on condition, rarity, and unique mint errors, making it one of the most exciting coins to search for in everyday change. Now let's uncover the powerful story behind this coin, because every coin tells a story, and this one carries the legacy of American history, craftsmanship, and hidden value. The 2003 D Lincoln cent was minted in Denver, marked by the small D mint mark just below the date, and it belongs to the Lincoln Memorial Series, which began in 1959 to honor the 150th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected presidents in United States history. This coin features the iconic portrait of Lincoln on the front designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that has stood the test of time and remains one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. On the reverse side, the Lincoln Memorial stands proudly, symbolizing unity, strength, and the legacy of a nation. But what makes the 2003 penny truly special is not just its design or its history. It is the hidden factors that can turn this simple copper-plated zinc coin into a fortune. Most of these coins are only worth 1 cent in circulated condition, but when we step into the world of coin grading and mint errors, everything changes dramatically. Collectors are always hunting for coins in mint state condition, especially those graded MS67 or higher, where the coin appears almost perfect with sharp details, brilliant luster, and no visible wear. And when a 2003 penny reaches this elite level, its value can skyrocket into thousands of dollars. But the real magic happens when rare minting errors come into play, such as double die errors, off center strikes, die cracks, or even planchet flaws. These imperfections actually increase the value because they make the coin unique and extremely desirable among collectors. Imagine finding a 2003 penny with a strong double die on the date or lettering. Such a coin could easily attract serious buyers and push its value toward that incredible figure of $779,374 in the right auction environment. The coin market is driven by rarity, demand, and condition, and in recent years, the interest in modern era coins has exploded, making coins like the 2003 Lincoln cent more valuable than ever before. Another important factor is the metal composition. Although most 2003 pennies are made from zinc with a thin copper coating, collectors pay close attention to anomalies in weight or color that might indicate a rare variation. Sometimes experimental planchets or transitional errors slip through the minting process, and these are the coins that can change your life overnight. The Denver Mint produced billions of pennies in 2003, but only a tiny fraction have the qualities that collectors are willing to pay huge amounts for, which means the treasure is out there but only a few lucky people will discover it. This is why coin hunting has become such a thrilling hobby, because every penny you check could be the one, and the 2003 cent is a perfect example of how modern coins can still hold incredible value. The current market for rare Lincoln cents is stronger than ever, with auctions seeing competitive bidding from collectors around the world. Online platforms and coin shows are buzzing with activity, and prices continue to rise as more people enter the hobby. Experts recommend always checking your coins carefully under good lighting, using a magnifying glass to inspect for doubling, unusual marks, or anything that looks different from a standard coin. Storing your coins properly is also essential, because condition plays a massive role in determining value. Even a small scratch or fingerprint can reduce a coin's worth significantly, so handling coins with care is crucial if you believe you have something special. Grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and assign a grade to your coin, which can dramatically increase its market value and buyer confidence. So if you ever come across a 2003 Lincoln penny that looks flawless or shows signs of an error, do not ignore it, because you might be holding a hidden gem worth a fortune. The idea that a simple 1 cent coin could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars is what makes coin collecting so exciting. It turns everyday objects into potential treasures and connects us to history in a very real way. So next time you receive change, take a closer look, because the Liberty 1 cent 2003 might just be your ticket to an incredible discovery. And here at Rare US Coins, today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern coins that collectors are actively hunting right now, the Liberty 1 cent 2006 a coin that many people overlook every single day, but one that could quietly be sitting in your pocket, your drawer, or your old piggy bank with a surprising value that might shock you. Because while most people think a penny is just a penny, serious collectors and smart investors know that certain coins like the 2006 Lincoln cent can carry a much higher market value depending on condition, rarity, and minting details. And today we are going to uncover the full story behind this coin, its history, its production, its current market demand, and why some examples are being valued as high as $779,344 in the collector's market, making it one of the most talked about modern pennies in the numismatic world right now. The story of the Liberty 1 cent 2006 begins with the long-standing Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected presidents in United States history, and by 2006, the design had already become one of the most recognized coin designs in the world, with Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial featured on the reverse, a design that ran from 1959 until 2008, and the 2006 D version was minted in Denver, which is indicated by the small D mint mark just below the date. And while millions of these coins were produced, not all coins are created equal. Because within these large mintages, there are always rare variations, minting errors, and high-grade specimens that collectors are willing to pay huge amounts of money to acquire. Now let's talk about what really makes the 2006 D Liberty 1 cent so exciting, and that is its potential value, because while a regular circulated 2006 D penny might only be worth a few cents, coins that are in uncirculated condition, especially those graded MS67 or higher, can command significantly higher prices. And when you combine that with rare minting errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual planchet issues, the value can skyrocket into the thousands, and in some extreme and rare cases, collectors and private buyers have pushed the market value of unique specimens toward the astonishing figure of $779,344. Making it a true hidden gem among modern coins. One of the key factors that drives the value of the 2006 D penny is its condition, because coins that have never been used in circulation retain their original luster, sharp details, and flawless surfaces, and grading companies carefully examine these coins under magnification to assign them a grade, and even a tiny difference in grade can mean a huge difference in value. So if you ever come across a shiny, well-preserved 2006 D penny, it is definitely worth taking a closer look, because it could be far more valuable than you think. Another important factor is mint errors, which are highly sought after by collectors. And the 2006 D series is known to have some interesting error coins, including doubled letters, misaligned strikes, and even coins struck on the wrong metal, and these errors are rare because they occur during the minting process by accident, making each error coin unique and highly desirable, and collectors are always willing to pay premium prices for such unusual pieces, especially when they are authenticated and graded by professional services. The market demand for the 2006 D Liberty 1 cent has been steadily increasing over the years, especially as more collectors begin to realize the potential of modern coins, and with the rise of online auctions and global coin trading platforms, rare coins are now reaching a wider audience than ever before, which means higher competition and higher prices, and this is exactly why some exceptional examples of the 2006 D penny are being valued at such incredible amounts, because when rarity, condition, and demand come together, the result can be truly astonishing. What makes this even more exciting is that this coin is not ancient or extremely old, it is a relatively modern coin that many people still have in their possession, which means there is still a chance that undiscovered valuable pieces are out there waiting to be found, and this creates a sense of treasure hunting that makes coin collecting so thrilling, because you never know when you might stumble upon a coin that could change everything. So here is what you should do. Right now, start checking your coins carefully, look for the 2006 D mint mark, examine the condition, search for any unusual features or errors, and if you think you have found something special, consider getting it professionally graded, because that simple step could reveal a hidden fortune. And remember, even the smallest coin can carry a massive story and an even bigger value. The Liberty 1 cent 2006 D is a perfect example of how history, craftsmanship, and rarity come together to create something truly valuable. And as the market continues to grow and collectors continue to search for the best examples, the demand for this coin is only expected to rise, making it an exciting opportunity for both collectors and investors alike, and that is why here at Rare US Coins today we are diving deep into a fascinating coin that many people overlook but collectors are constantly hunting for, the 2015 Liberty 1 cent, a coin that might be sitting quietly in your drawer right now but could hold surprising value depending on its condition, rarity, and unique features, and as we explore its history, its design, and its current market value reaching an astonishing level of $779.375 in certain cases, you will start to see why this small copper coin has captured the attention of collectors across the world and why you should never ignore even the most common-looking pennies, because sometimes the biggest treasures come in the smallest forms, and the story of the 2015 1 cent begins with a long tradition of American coinage that dates back over a century, carrying the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of unity, strength, and history. First introduced in 1909 and continuing to evolve while maintaining its classic identity, and by 2015 this coin had already become one of the most recognized and widely circulated coins in the United States, yet despite its mass production, certain pieces stand out due to their exceptional quality, minting errors, or perfect preservation, and that is where the real value begins to rise dramatically, because not every 2015 penny is equal. Some are worth only their face value, but others, especially those in mint state condition graded MS67 or higher, can command impressive prices in the collector's market. And when you combine that with rare mint errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual planchet issues, the value can skyrocket even further, creating opportunities for collectors and investors to turn a simple coin into a valuable asset. And the design of the 2015 Liberty 1 cent itself is a beautiful blend of tradition and modern craftsmanship, with the obverse featuring the timeless portrait of Lincoln, detailed and refined, while the reverse showcases the Union Shield design, symbolizing strength and unity, a design that was introduced in 2010 and continues to represent the enduring spirit of the nation. And what makes collectors truly excited is finding a coin that looks almost untouched, with sharp details, bright luster, and no visible wear, because these coins are incredibly difficult to find in circulation. And that rarity is what drives the market value higher and higher over time. And speaking of market value, the figure of $779.375 is not just a random number, it represents the upper range for a perfectly preserved or rare error example of the 2015 penny, a price that reflects both demand and scarcity. And as more collectors enter the market and search for high-grade modern coins, the competition increases, pushing prices even further. And this is why many experts believe that modern coins like the 2015 1 cent are becoming the future of coin collecting, offering both affordability at entry level and massive potential for growth at the high end. And if you are wondering how to identify whether your coin could be valuable, you need to carefully examine its condition, look for any unusual features, check the mint mark which could be P, D, or S, and consider getting it graded by a professional service, because proper grading can significantly increase its market appeal and value. And another important factor is demand. As more collectors focus on completing modern sets or investing in high-grade coins, the interest in coins like the 2015 Liberty 1 cent continues to grow, making it a smart choice for both beginners and experienced collectors. And what makes this even more exciting is the possibility that many of these valuable coins are still out there in circulation, waiting to be discovered, hidden in jars, wallets, or old collections, just waiting for someone to recognize their true worth. And this is why we always encourage you to check your coins carefully, because you never know when you might come across a hidden gem that could change your financial situation. And as the market continues to evolve, the 2015 Liberty 1 cent stands as a perfect example of how modern coins can achieve incredible value, combining history, design, rarity, and collector demand into one small but powerful piece of metal. And here on Rare US Coins,